Jennifer, are we okay to start? Okay, good afternoon and welcome to our LAFTA meeting on today's date would be September 12th, Monday, for our board meeting starting at 4:01. If we could please go ahead and call the meeting to order and please take a roll call.
Yes, Director Bonanno.
Here.
Director Brown.
Here.
Vice Chair Hernandez.
Present.
Director Hernandez. Oh, sorry, Director Josie.
Here.
Director Kick. She is not in this meeting. Director Narum.
Here.
Chair Halbert.
Present.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. So we will go ahead and ask if there's any public comment.
We do have one speaker. She actually is here. So I'm not going to read it into public comment because she looks like she's here to say her public comment. Carly, would you like to speak? You raise your hand. I'm going to see if she wants to talk. Hold on one second.
Okay, thank you.
Carly, you could go ahead and speak if you'd like.
Hi, Carly. You have 3 minutes to speak.
Hi. Can you hear me?
You're kind of going in and out, so
Okay, actually, if you wouldn't mind just reading the comments, I'm so sorry. I'm just at home with my twins. I'm just advocating on behalf.
I will go ahead and have Jennifer read the public comment. Thank you.
Okay, let me go ahead and put her back over. One moment. Okay, so I'm just going to paraphrase. Basically, we received public comment today from Carly Amagone, a school social worker and parent of twins. She's advocating for the Tri-Valley families that are applying for Wheels bus passes and have to wait the processing time for the Wheels bus passes to arrive. She states that it was very helpful for when our bus passes were free during the month of August, and is asking the board to help think of solutions for families that are in the 2 to 3 week waiting time for the bus passes to arrive. She mentions how San Francisco and Oakland are providing transportation for students and is encouraging LAVTA to look at similar solutions. And she did kind of give an explanation of how San Francisco and Oakland are doing their transportation for kids and youth. That being said, it will be posted online after this meeting for the public to read. There was no public comment provided except for that one thing, and there's no other attendees in this meeting today.
Okay, thank you. That was going to be my next question. And so we will move on to item number 4, which is July Tri-Valley Accessible Advisory Committee minutes. And I'm not sure if Herb's on here or not.
He is. Let me go ahead and promote him to talk.
Jennifer, just making note that I'm here just a little bit late.
Yeah, no, I see you. Thank you.
Hi, Herb.
Just on the record.
How about now?
We can hear you.
Okay, yeah, I didn't get in time to have her change my background, so I guess I gotta deal with no camera, which is no problem. You've seen my face enough. Just joking. Hope everyone's summer's been fine the last month or two. Okay, I'm here to give the July report for the advisory committee. We did have September's, but that'll be next month when I come back online with that. So regarding July, let's see. We had discussed, I had brought up a topic about possibly looking at the bylaws regarding the quarterly schedules versus the monthlies. And so that was in a certain section of the topic, but I'll add on to that when I get to that. Let's see. In my report, I discussed working with and reviewing the new website. So I notified the committee the current project I was working on, updating the beta version of the new website, which I just heard that it is now online. So if any of you haven't looked at it, I spent several months working with staff on reviewing, and a couple of other members were involved in looking at it to set it up so it was very accessible for the public, and debugging some of the original beta-based programs before we went live on it. So I did that. Then we also included our new members. They started this year. It was Zachary, Sue Tillett, Susan O'Neill, all were welcomed in as the new members for their respective cities. I was reelected as chair, as well as Sean was elected. Sean Costello was elected as vice chair for this year. We reviewed the times and the dates for the coming 22-23 meeting schedules, which turned in, we're doing them bi-monthly, is what this went from the quarterly, which is what the bylaws currently state. But we've been doing a bi-monthly status, which has been a lot more convenient and ongoing for the members through Zoom, as we've been doing the last couple of years. We don't know when we're going to start on site, but that's according to what happens when you guys approve that. Procedures whenever. Me and Carmen gave the PACO report for the past period, and it was basically at that time we had officers for PACO for the coming year. And then during service concern issues, Sean had brought up an issue regarding a driver's issue with him in driving and riding on a bus, about exiting a 30 bus. So he talked to staff to have them inform the procedures. Carmen had brought up several issues regarding the fairgrounds issue on the 4th of July, how inappropriately, or how short it was, and it wasn't arranged properly, which I kind of agreed with, is because of the delay on the fireworks starting at the end of the show, they didn't have a bus scheduled as a backup bus. And so nobody could get back in time, or there was no bus after the fireworks, which were delayed after an unknown reason. So there was no buses. So people were really making issues regarding not being able to get back to the BART station after the delayed period. So I'm going to make a suggestion to staff, and as well as recommend to you guys, that for next year's fair routing continuation of getting it, adding a backup driver on call, so that if there's any delayed late departure requirements, that someone's always that'll be on standby at the end of the fair after hours, so that no one gets left behind at the fair. And let's see, I had one more. Oh, and then I had a minor issue with the turnaround location where the buses were stopping. They should be stopping closer to the entry gate. And considering we should probably possibly, drivers were having issues with cars parking in the turnaround or turnabout, when I would feel that the buses should be the dedicated area, because people were dropping off people, or they were waiting for cars, waiting for people to show up, and they were just sitting there parked. And so the buses couldn't enter the turnabout to drop off passengers and then go across the street to where the pickup point was. So there was kind of a delay with the turnabout location. So next year we should probably look at improving the routine on the front side of the fair for next year. Otherwise, that's my report for the July meeting. Any questions?
Any questions from the board?
Yeah, that's the same one, okay.
Not seeing any questions from the board, I will just go ahead and say, Herb, thank you so much for bringing over the information to us. I think that Carla may be able to help with regards to Pleasanton PD, maybe making sure that folks aren't, in that turnabout when they're not supposed to be in there. But thank you and congratulations on your chair. And also we will have to say congratulations to Sean Costello as well.
Okay. Carla knows I will get in touch with her when it comes closer to the fair.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. I got to jump off. I got another one to jump on. So otherwise, I'll see you guys next month.
Thank you. Thanks for the update.
All right. Bye.
Bye. So we will go ahead and go on to the consent calendar. Any of the board members, is there anything that you'd like to pull from the consent calendar? Not seeing any members, I will go ahead and ask for motion for the consent calendar.
So move approval.
I have a first from Josie and a second from Bonanno. Can you please take roll?
Yes, Director Bonanno,
Aye.
Director Brown,
Aye.
Vice Chair Hernandez,
Aye.
Director Josie,
Aye.
Director Kick,
Aye.
Director Narum,
Aye.
Chair Halbert.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Moving on to item number 6, which is our executive director's report.
I'm going to give this today, actually the acting interim executive director's report. There was only 3 items on the report. One had to do with August ridership. We had some increases in August. We actually hit 5,000 4 or 5 times during the month of August. First time that's happened since March of 2020. We're still below where we were pre-COVID, when we were carrying around 8,000 a day, but to be above 5,000 is certainly much better than we were below 1,000 at our lowest point. So in perspective, that looks pretty good. Of course, 2,000 to 2,500 of those are students from Pleasanton, Dublin, Livermore, and Las Positas. They started back on the 17th. There's a paragraph on the SAD project, and there's a paragraph on the parking garage. If you have a question on the SAV, Tone could probably answer that. In the parking garage, tomorrow's the one that would have to answer that. One thing that's not on here has to do with last week's challenges with regard to 115-degree temperatures and power outage at Dublin High School. On Tuesday, we were called into service early at Dublin High School and had to scramble to find 11 bus drivers who were, we're not the fire department. We don't have just a whole bunch of guys sitting around and women sitting around waiting for a bus to go out. So we had to contact people, have them come in on their day off or after their shift or before their shift to run the school service. Then Dublin Unified decided to have minimum days the rest of the week on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So for each of those days, we had to do the same drill of finding 12 drivers and scheduling those buses to get out to Dublin High School for dismissals around 12:45-ish on those days. And everything went quite smoothly. Tamara and I were out there on Friday. I was out there a few days. And other than being extremely warm, everything went quite well. And on Wednesday, we also made the wise decision to start our buses a little bit earlier so that the air conditioning would have a chance to kick in before they got out to Dublin High School.
Well, we appreciate all your hard work and trying to, get some extra bus drivers on duty. And I apologize on behalf of the school district, but we understand, and I'm sure firefighters aren't really standing around.
No, but they're waiting. They're waiting
but-
for a call. We don't
But
have people.
we're very thankful that you guys try to, do the best that you could do. And I will go ahead and Mayor Brown.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor Hernandez. Wow, Tony, I'm just incredibly impressed that such a small, lean staff that you have here was able to meet. I understand that PG&E, there was power loss at Dublin High School, and that was one of the reasons they let them out early.
On Tuesday, yes.
Yeah, it's probably pretty hot when it's 112 outside in classrooms. But I wondered if you could comment, because I'm pretty excited that fixed route passengers, the cost is less than the cost to provide the services. On your full cost per passenger 2017 to 2022, we finally passed our expenses on a per ridership basis. That's incredible.
That's in the,
It's in your staff report. It's in your staff report. But that's
technically
great
my
news.
staff report, but I believe Tone does that section. You might have to jump in on that one.
I think that's great, because we've been subsidizing that. But of course, I see paratransit cost per ridership continue to rise. And I know we've been working with Contra Costa County for across the county lines to provide services. So I'm hoping there's an idea how we can bring paratransit costs down since they continue to rise. But with that, thanks and thank you for you and Tamara and everybody. Probably Jennifer was out there directing bus traffic, but definitely Tone and all of you guys. So thank you for all you did. Students appreciate it.
Town, did you want to answer Director Brown's question?
So just want to confirm, you're referring to the data from the board stats file? I think you're still muted, Mayor Brown.
It's under the executive director's report, attachment 1, bottom graph. It shows the passengers per hour exceeds the cost per passengers. Or maybe I'm looking at two different graphs and I'm assuming they are related, but maybe they're not.
I'll probably have to take a deeper dive on
Okay,
that.
no problem. But if we ever exceed our expenses without, let me know. That'd be great. Day to celebrate. Right. Thanks.
Thank you, Director Josie.
Thank you. I just wanted to weigh in with my thanks. Apologies on behalf of the school district, and my kudos for the scrambling to meet the needs at Dublin High, having lived this on the other end. I was at Dublin High when the power went out, of course, and yes, it did get very warm very quickly, and trying to figure out what to do with all of those students. And I know admin made the decision, and I think the district office made the decision to cancel school. In consultation, one would hope, with LAVTA, as opposed to notifying LAVTA after the fact. And I really am very appreciative with how rapidly you all were able to get all of the buses over to the school, get the kids on them and get them home. It's as challenging as it is to the buses. When that happens, it's equally challenging, or maybe even more so, to all the parents who are at work, whose kids don't necessarily take the bus. And so making sure that you were able to get our kids home safely was super, super important. And then being able to scramble and rearrange the schedules for the entire rest of the week as the power continued to go up and down in isolated buildings on campus all week long. Really appreciate you all meeting the need and scrambling as you did. And the staff that worked not their normal shifts, please pass our thanks on to them.
So Principal Byrne and some of the assistant principals also came out and thanked the drivers individually, and that was very nice, and the drivers all appreciated that. And one other thing to bring up about Tuesday, which was the day the power went out, on Tuesday morning, Tamara came into work and the air conditioning was not working at our admin building on Tuesday. So she texted everybody and said, don't bother to come into work today, work from home. But I'm going to stay here because there was furniture being delivered because we're transitioning the old boardroom back into the new boardroom and making new office space. And that all the cubicles were being delivered on Tuesday. And so she didn't want to delay that project. So she stayed in a 90-degree office all day with a giant fan outside of her door, and following through with the furniture delivery, and then also took the call because she was also answering the calls at the front desk. She answered the call when the power went out and then immediately went back to operations and got that whole ball rolling. So really kudos to her for, and hopefully she didn't catch whatever she caught when we were out there on Friday. But yes, that was an interesting week. Hopefully one that won't repeat for quite a while.
Absolutely. So we will go ahead and any members of the public, Jennifer?
No, there are no members of the public right now in the meeting, and I didn't receive any public comments.
Okay, thank you. So we will go ahead and go to adjourn this meeting to close and then go to our closed session meeting. See you all there.
We have a link for that?
Yeah, Jennifer sent it out.
Sent it out on Friday.
Okay.
Hey, Michael, what does your interim acting executive director do? Do I leave for the day, or do I stick around when you come back and say we didn't do anything? You're on mute.
Stick around, or Jennifer should stick around.
Okay,
Just
I'll
so we
stick
can
around.
get the meeting, yeah.
All righty.
Just have a report out, but
All right. See you in a bit.
all right.
I thought we were gonna have to weigh ourselves when we come in every day. I was gonna quit.
I was still talking and he cut me off. I love it when people do that.
Sorry, I said it was kind of abrupt. You were yanked right out of that meeting.
Sorry about that. I was trying to click on the link for the other email and it just shut me off the Zoom. I don't know what.
I thought you didn't want to hear me talk anymore.
No, not at all. Are we all set here? We got one.
I think we're all set except for Carla, but she may not be coming back. Okay, so we're back from our closed session and I will go ahead and have our attorney give a report out.
Yes, so the board met in closed session with regard to the employment of a new executive director and negotiations with a selected candidate. Once one selected, there was no reportable action taken.
All right, thank you. And this will bring us to item number 11, which is matters initiated by the board of directors. Any matters initiated? Not seeing any, we will go ahead and adjourn the meeting, and also to let all the rest of the board know that October 3rd is our next board meeting.
I will note, this is Jennifer, that we might have to have, well, we will have to have probably a special board meeting just to do the teleconference resolution, just so you all know.
Unless we wanted to do that on the 21st, but that might be too much. I'll talk generally.
We adopted it today, right?
Right.
And the third is less than 30 days from now, correct?
Yeah, but our next meeting won't be until after that.
No,
We're okay?
October.
Am I crazy? October 3rd is less than 30 days from now.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Then we don't need one, Michael.
your arithmetic is correct.
That's why she's a math. That's why she's a math educator.
Okay.
All right, see you soon.
Thanks all.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
And Jennifer, we're adjourned at 4:45.